We are back here on Carolina Women, just chatting away, and we are here with Erin from Revive. We've been talking about your new location. We've been talking about that whole plaza, all the things that you're doing. We're all really interested. We all have questions. I know today we're going to try to talk about perimenopause and menopause.
Yes.
And Erin, we were just kind of talking about, we were talking about symptoms, and do we even know what perimenopause is?
Right, exactly.
Yes, thanks for having me back.
Thank
I
you.
love chatting with you ladies always. So it's a really exciting month because it's actually Menopause Awareness Month. And so I love the name here because I do feel like most people aren't even aware of what's happening. And it's like a very, very, very confusing time. So menopause, just to recap, is the absence of a menstrual cycle for a full year. That's really the definition of menopause. But what's more important, what I think people don't realize, is the 10 years leading up to menopause is actually a time of great change and confusion, and that's perimenopause.
I have a question. I know that girls are starting menses almost 10 years earlier than they used to. Where does that put perimenopause and menopause in comparison?
Yes. And you like took the words from me. That's such a great point because so if you start your period earlier, your ovaries only have a certain half-life, and you're gonna go into perimenopause and menopause earlier. So the average age of menopause is 52.
Wow.
But what I'm seeing is most women are going into menopause 45 to 48. So you have to think 10 years prior to that.
That's right.
35 to 38, you're going through some changes.
And what are some of the symptoms that you're to look out for?
So
that we're experiencing.
She's like, the most common things I see are fatigue. One, I'm always tired. Sleep, I can't sleep, and of course that contributes to the fatigue. Weight gain, irregular cycles. So this can be anything whereas they're coming earlier than 21 days or further apart, which is actually more of a concern when they're 35 to 45 days apart. It's actually a little bit of a concern for the uterine lining.
Hot flashes seem to be, or this internal combustion. It seems to be a big issue that people talk about.
Yeah, and everyone experiences hot flashes differently. So I think a lot of women, I'm like, do you have hot flashes? They're like, no, but I can't seem to regulate my temperature. I'm hot all the time and I just feel like I'm going to burn up. I'm like, that's a hot flash. So that can happen in perimenopause too, when testosterone starts to drop and progesterone starts to drop. It's more of a significant change I see in menopause, but that can happen earlier too.
So do people need to go on hormone therapy?
Yeah, that's
what
we
can
want,
you do to alleviate
I love a solution-oriented.
I know. So I always tell people there's a lot of different things. I always start with testing just to see where we're at, and then I want to know, if this is a 35-year-old woman, why? Looking at when did she start her cycles? Are there changes? Like, is the thyroid off? Is she under significant stress? Is she nutrient deficient? Once all those things are balanced, if we still have significant hormone deficiencies, then hormone therapy is a great option.
It's so interesting. Talk to us generally, though, about some of the cool things that you do, because I think we're all really excited about what you do within your practice, within Revive.
Yeah. So I treat it a little bit differently. I look at the person as a whole, not just a standardized protocol. So I always look at their thyroid function, their nutritional deficiencies, their level of stress in their life, their gut, and their hormones. Okay. So we're really looking at all those things because it all contributes to your overall health, and more importantly, longevity, your metabolic health. So are you insulin resistant? What are your lipids like? The health of your gut plays into that too. So looking at the patient as a whole and really giving them a comprehensive approach.
Do you look at lifestyle changes in combination with some of the things that you do?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel like our lifestyle significantly impacts.
We talked about that walking in today.
Yeah. And so it's September, it's pumpkin season. Like these candles and all these things are really toxic and they're neurotoxic. So they contribute to, anxiety and depression. And we always see women in perimenopause would jump on antidepressants when it's really our hormones. So yeah, your lifestyle, your house, everything.
Are there guidelines that are set forth for how you sort of lay out the treatments?
Yeah, so there's guidelines from the Menopause Society that have actually recently changed and support estrogen therapy, and then I go based off of the patient themselves and their individual labs.
Yeah. Erin, before we go, we want to make sure that we mention your open house. Share with us.
Yeah, so my sister and her friend are joining us at Revive with their own separate kind of entity. They do pelvic floor physical therapy, and we're just kind of celebrating the combining of the two and opening of everything. So it's September 15th at 6:30. You can just pop by, say hi, learn about all that we do.
Oh, I can't
So
wait.
fun.
That sounds wonderful. Stay with us. More to come here on Carolina Women.